At exactly 2:47 a.m., a single FaceTime notification allegedly triggered a chain reaction the culture still can't explain. Fans are shocked as whispers spread that the FBI quietly cracked open private calls linking Rain, Boosie, Mo3, and Yella Beezy in one explosive timeline. According to viral rumors, a FaceTime conversation meant to disappear is now being replayed in federal rooms, with insiders claiming coded words, tense pauses, and chilling timing. Emotions ran high when alleged informant chatter suggested Rain was on screen with Boosie minutes before chaos unfolded. The internet froze. Screenshots flew. Loyalty lines vanished. Then another bomb dropped. Blogs claim the feds didn't just listen, they followed the trail, allegedly tracking down and capturing the suspected getaway driver tied to Yella Beezy. Suddenly, Mo3's name flooded timelines again, reopening wounds that never healed. Families were left divided, artists went silent, and fans demanded answers. Was this coincidence, betrayal, or a setup years in the making? Behind the scenes, fingers are pointing, phones are being wiped, and fear is replacing confidence. One FaceTime call, one arrest rumor, and a truth so dangerous it might rewrite everything you thought you knew. Tonight, nothing feels safe anymore in this unfolding storm. The night the rumors ignited, the city felt tense, like everyone knew something was coming but nobody knew from where. Social media lit up with frantic posts claiming federal agents were quietly circling names nobody expected to see connected in the same sentence. Fans were shocked watching Rain's name trend next to Boosie's, while Mo3's legacy was dragged back into the spotlight once again. According to online whispers, it all started with a FaceTime call that wasn't supposed to matter, a casual connection that allegedly turned into the missing puzzle piece investigators had been hunting for years. Emotions ran high as bloggers swore the timing alone was chilling, and the culture immediately split into believers and skeptics. Sources claiming insider knowledge said the FaceTime happened late, when guards were down and words flowed freely. Allegedly, Rain appeared calm on screen, while Boosie's tone was described as sharp, cautious, almost irritated. People online replayed imaginary dialogue in their heads, debating what could have been said and what might have been implied. Fans are shocked because no one expected Rain to be pulled into anything this heavy. Friends of Rain allegedly insisted it was just another call, nothing more than industry talk mixed with personal venting. Still, the timing kept raising eyebrows, especially when Mo3's name entered the conversation again. As the rumors grew, emotions ran high among Mo3's supporters, who felt his story had never been fully told. Many claimed the streets always knew more than the courts, and now the feds were supposedly listening too. Online personalities pushed the narrative that Mo3 had been warning people, hinting in past interviews that betrayal was closer than anyone realized. The family was left divided, with some relatives demanding truth no matter who it exposed, while others begged for peace and privacy. Fans flooded comment sections arguing over loyalty, accountability, and whether reopening the past would heal anything at all. Then Yella Beezy's name entered the storm, and that's when everything shifted. According to viral claims, federal investigators allegedly identified a getaway driver connected to Beezy's camp, a detail that reignited old accusations people thought had faded away. Emotions ran high as bloggers claimed an arrest had already been made, though no paperwork surfaced to prove it. Beezy's supporters immediately called Cap, saying this was another attempt to smear his name. Critics fired back, insisting the dots were finally being connected. The internet turned into a courtroom overnight, with fans acting as judge and jury. Behind the scenes, people close to the artists were allegedly panicking. Phones were said to be buzzing nonstop, lawyers getting quiet calls, and managers scrambling to control narratives. One supposed associate claimed everyone involved felt blindsided, insisting the feds were building something slowly, patiently, letting people feel safe before tightening the net. Emotions ran high as that idea spread, feeding paranoia across timelines. Artists started posting vague messages about loyalty and truth, which fans immediately dissected for hidden meanings. Every emoji became evidence, every caption a confession in the court of public opinion. Boosie's name carried its own weight, and fans knew it. Known for speaking his mind, many wondered if his words on that alleged FaceTime call crossed lines he couldn't walk back. Some claimed he was venting about industry snakes. Others said he was warning Rain to stay clear of certain people. Supporters argued Boosie had nothing to gain from any setup, while critics said his history made him an easy target for federal interest. Emotions ran high as both sides clashed, each convinced they understood the truth better than the other. Rain, meanwhile, was painted as the wild card. Friends described him as loyal, private, and shocked to even be mentioned in the same breath as federal rumors. According to online speculation, Rain allegedly didn't realize the gravity of the call, thinking it was just another late-night conversation. Fans debated whether innocence mattered once names started appearing in reports, real or imagined. The family was left divided, with some urging Rain to speak out, others advising silence. Every hour without a statement only fueled more theories, more suspicion, more noise. As the night stretched on, new twists kept dropping. Anonymous accounts claimed there were more calls, more names, more evidence waiting to surface. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether this was a coordinated leak or pure internet chaos. Mo3's fans refused to let his name be reduced to rumors, demanding respect even as they searched for answers. The culture felt like it was standing on a fault line, waiting for the next piece of information to crack everything open. Nothing was confirmed, nothing denied. Blogs repeated claims as facts, reaction channels screamed betrayal, and fans refreshed feeds nonstop. The streets buzzed with theories, the internet with accusations. Emotions ran high everywhere, and trust felt thinner than ever. Whether real, fake, or somewhere in between, the rumors had already done their damage. Relationships were questioned, legacies were shaken, and one thing became clear to everyone watching closely. This wasn't just another headline. This was the beginning of a storm that promised to get darker, louder, and far more personal before anyone saw the end. When daylight hit, the tension didn't fade. It multiplied. Overnight rumors hardened into supposed facts, and reaction videos flooded timelines claiming new confirmations. Fans were shocked watching familiar faces suddenly turn silent. According to online whispers, federal agents allegedly began quietly interviewing people connected to the same Dallas circles Mo3 once moved through. Emotions ran high as old interviews resurfaced, clipped and reposted with dramatic captions implying Mo3 had been predicting betrayal long before his death. The internet moved fast, faster than truth ever could, and the narrative kept growing teeth. Rain was allegedly feeling the pressure first. Friends claimed he stopped answering calls, not out of guilt, but fear of being misquoted or misused. Screenshots of his old posts were pulled apart line by line, fans searching for hidden meanings that were never intended. The family was left divided, with some urging him to clear his name immediately, while others warned that speaking too soon could make things worse. Emotions ran high when an anonymous account claimed Rain was cooperating, a word that instantly flipped public perception without proof. Boosie's reaction, or lack of one, only poured gas on the fire. Known for never holding his tongue, his silence felt loud. Supporters argued he was protecting himself legally, while critics said quiet meant strategy. Bloggers claimed Boosie was advised to stop all off-the-cuff communication, especially FaceTime, especially late-night calls. Fans replayed his past rants, debating whether certain lines now sounded like warnings instead of jokes. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether the outspoken rapper had finally talked himself into a corner. Then Yella Beezy's camp reportedly went into damage control mode. According to viral claims, the alleged getaway driver arrest shook everyone connected to him. Though no official paperwork surfaced, the rumor alone sent shockwaves through the fanbase. Some insiders claimed Beezy was blindsided, insisting the driver acted alone. Others suggested deeper ties that were never meant to surface. The family was left divided as supporters demanded loyalty while critics demanded accountability. Every move Beezy made online was dissected within seconds. Mo3's loved ones found themselves dragged back into a nightmare they never escaped. Emotions ran high as his name dominated trending pages again, tied to speculation instead of remembrance. Family members reportedly disagreed on how much should be said publicly. Some wanted full transparency, believing the truth would finally honor Mo3. Others feared the chaos would only reopen wounds and invite more pain. Fans felt torn, wanting justice while fearing exploitation of his legacy. As the story evolved, new alleged informants emerged online, each claiming insider knowledge. Some said the FBI had been watching quietly for years. Others claimed everything hinged on one FaceTime call that confirmed timelines and locations. Emotions ran high as contradictions stacked up, yet none slowed the momentum. Reaction channels played judge, analysts, and therapists all at once, turning speculation into serialized drama. Viewers couldn't look away, even when doubts crept in. Private group chats reportedly became battlegrounds. Old friends accused each other of talking too much. Loyalty was questioned, favors remembered, debts recalled. According to whispers, some people started distancing themselves publicly while privately scrambling for protection. Emotions ran high as paranoia replaced trust. Everyone wondered who might be next to trend for all the wrong reasons. The culture watched relationships crumble in real time. A leaked message allegedly hinted that more arrests could be coming. Though unverified, the idea alone sent shock through the community. Fans are shocked how fast narratives can shift from music to mugshots. Artists posted cryptic quotes about snakes and survival, feeding speculation further. Emotions ran high as silence, and symbolism spoke louder than statements. As night returned, one thing was clear. Whether truth or fiction, the damage was real. Names were stained, bonds were strained, and fear sat heavy in the air. The storm wasn't slowing. It was reorganizing, pulling new people into its path, and promising that the next revelation would hit even closer to home. Inside the industry, managers and executives allegedly began whispering about contingency plans. Shows were reconsidered, appearances questioned, and collaborations quietly paused. Emotions ran high as business mixed with fear, and nobody wanted their brand caught near a potential federal narrative. Some artists were said to be frustrated, feeling punished by association, while others treated the moment like a warning shot. Fans noticed sudden unfollows and deleted photos, reading them as silent confessions or survival tactics. Old street stories resurfaced, shared by people claiming they'd heard things years ago. Some alleged Mo3 had refused to play certain politics, choosing independence over protection. Others claimed he trusted the wrong people, believing loyalty was mutual when it wasn't. Emotions ran high as these stories spread, blurring lines between memory and myth. The family was left divided again, watching strangers rewrite a life they lived privately. Rain's name continued trending in cycles, each wave harsher than the last. Supporters insisted he was being used as a link simply because of proximity. Critics argued proximity is how cases are built. Emotions ran high as Rain allegedly leaned on a tight circle, questioning who he could trust. Every call felt risky. Every text felt permanent. Silence became both shield and suspicion. Boosie's fans debated fiercely, some reminding everyone of his long history with controversy and survival. Others worried this time felt different, heavier, less performative. Bloggers claimed the feds didn't care about personalities, only patterns. Emotions ran high as people wondered whether charisma could protect anyone anymore. The street logic many believed in seemed powerless against federal patience. Yella Beezy's situation grew murkier by the hour. Supporters organized online, demanding proof instead of rumors. Critics countered that smoke never appears without fire. Emotions ran high as both sides clashed, each convinced they were defending truth. The family was left divided as Beezy's inner circle reportedly argued over messaging, timing, and silence. As midnight approached again, exhaustion mixed with anticipation. Fans refreshed feeds compulsively, waiting for confirmation or collapse. Emotions ran high because nobody knew where this story would land next. One thing felt undeniable, though. Whatever started as whispers had now reshaped relationships, reputations, and reality. The storm wasn't passing. It was settling in, preparing for its next move. In the quiet moments, doubt crept in. Some fans asked whether they were watching truth unfold or manipulation succeed. Emotions ran high as critical voices tried slowing the narrative, urging patience and facts. Still, algorithms favored outrage. Reaction channels kept pushing updates, even when updates were only questions. The culture felt trapped between curiosity and conscience. As this chapter of the saga closed, uncertainty ruled everything, and the silence ahead felt louder than any rumor before it. No official statements arrived, no charges confirmed, no clarity given. Yet fear lingered everywhere. Fans sensed something brewing beneath the noise, something unfinished. Emotions ran high because waiting felt dangerous. Every hour without answers felt intentional, like calm before impact. And deep down, everyone watching knew this story was far from over. The next development promised to test loyalties, expose motives, and force uncomfortable truths into daylight sooner than anyone expected. Nothing about this unfolding drama felt accidental to anyone paying attention. As the third wave of rumors crashed through the culture, the energy shifted from shock to suspicion. Fans were shocked not just by the allegations, but by how carefully certain voices stayed silent. According to viral speculation, this was the phase where everyone involved allegedly realized the narrative was no longer online gossip, it was something with teeth. Emotions ran high as insiders claimed federal pressure doesn't arrive loudly, it creeps in quietly, through questions, patterns, and patience. The street started saying, "Whoever panics first usually tells on themselves," and suddenly panic felt visible everywhere. Mo3's name once again became the emotional center of the storm. Old friends allegedly began speaking indirectly, posting memories mixed with regret. Fans replayed Mo3's lyrics, convinced he had been telling his story in real time, hiding truths in plain sight. Emotions ran high as supporters argued his death wasn't random. It was a collision of ego, money, and misplaced trust. The family was left divided again, torn between honoring his memory and watching strangers weaponize his pain for clicks. Behind the scenes, whispers claimed the FBI allegedly reconstructed timelines using phones, locations, and call logs. According to the rumors, that infamous FaceTime wasn't important for what was said, but when it happened, emotions ran high as bloggers suggested the call aligned too perfectly with movements that later turned fatal. Whether real or imagined, that idea stuck hard. Fans debated timing like detectives, mapping minutes and miles across comment sections. Rain's circle reportedly shrank even tighter. Friends claimed he stopped moving freely, not hiding, but protecting himself from narratives he couldn't control. Emotions ran high as some accused him of distancing himself, while others praised him for staying quiet. The family was left divided again, arguing whether silence looked like guilt or wisdom. Every day without a statement kept his name trending, a spotlight he never asked for. Boosie's involvement continued to divide the internet. Supporters insisted he was being dragged in because his name generates attention. Critics argued attention follows influence. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether his alleged FaceTime words carried unintended consequences. Old beefs resurfaced, recontextualized as motives instead of memories. Fans dissected his past conflicts, trying to connect dots that might not even exist. Yella Beezy's situation grew darker in perception. The alleged getaway driver rumor refused to die, even without proof. Emotions ran high as people claimed the silence from authorities meant something bigger was unfolding quietly. Beezy's supporters argued the internet convicted him without evidence. The critics countered that federal cases move slow for a reason. The family was left divided as pressure mounted to respond or wait. Then came the betrayal narrative. Anonymous posts claimed someone close to the situation allegedly cooperated to save themselves. No names were confirmed, but paranoia exploded. Emotions ran high as fans accused everyone and trusted no one. Old alliances were questioned, friendships scrutinized. The culture watched trust collapse in real time, fueled by speculation and fear. Reaction channels escalated the drama, speaking with certainty about things they admitted were rumors. Emotions ran high because the algorithm rewarded confidence, not caution. Viewers felt informed and misled at the same time. Some fans stepped back, questioning their role in amplifying pain. Others leaned in harder, addicted to every new theory. Industry insiders allegedly began distancing themselves quietly. According to whispers, meetings were canceled, deals paused, names avoided. Emotions ran high as business decisions started looking like moral judgments. Artists feared guilt by association more than guilt itself. The music felt secondary to survival. Mo3's supporters organized online, demanding respect and truth. Emotions ran high as they accused blogs of exploiting tragedy. Yet even within that group, opinions clashed. Some wanted justice at any cost. Others wanted peace, even if questions stayed unanswered. The family was left divided, caught between public demands and private grief. As night fell again, a sense of inevitability settled in. Fans were shocked how familiar this pattern felt. Rise, rumor, silence, fallout. Emotions ran high because everyone sensed a turning point approaching. Either facts would surface or narratives would harden permanently. Rain reportedly questioned who still stood with him. Boosie allegedly leaned into legal caution. Beezy's camp stayed guarded. And Mo3's absence felt louder than ever. The story no longer belonged to one person, it belonged to the internet. In group chats, doubt finally crept in. Some fans asked whether they were watching truth or theater. Emotions ran high as others shut that down, insisting the pain was real even if details weren't. The culture wrestled with itself, torn between curiosity and conscience. As this phase closed, one truth felt undeniable. Damage had already been done. Reputations bent, relationships strained, and trust eroded. Whether the rumors led to confirmation or collapse, nothing would return to how it was before. Silence stretched heavy, uncomfortable, loaded. Fans refreshed feeds not for excitement, but for clarity. Emotions ran high because waiting felt worse than knowing. Somewhere between fact and fiction, the story kept breathing, growing, and preparing to strike again. Whatever came next wouldn't just shock the internet. It would force decisions, statements, and consequences nobody could avoid anymore. The tone turned colder, heavier, almost inevitable. Fans were shocked not by new rumors, but by how quiet everything suddenly became. According to online whispers, this was the stage where panic stopped looking loud and started looking calculated. Emotions ran high as people noticed phones going dark, comments disabled, stories deleted. Silence felt strategic now, not accidental. The culture could feel it shifting from speculation to survival. Mo3's presence hovered over everything like an unanswered question. His name wasn't just trending anymore, it was being spoken with caution. Old associates allegedly distanced themselves publicly while privately defending themselves. Emotions ran high as fans accused people of rewriting history to protect themselves. Lyrics once celebrated were now treated like confessions. The family was left divided yet again, watching narratives harden around a man who could no longer speak for himself. According to viral speculation, this was also when federal pressure allegedly started showing in subtle ways. Not raids, not headlines, just conversations, quiet knocks, calm questions. Emotions ran high as bloggers claimed this is how real cases move, slow and surgical. The idea alone sent shock through the community. People began wondering who had already talked and who was still holding out. Rain's situation reportedly reached a breaking point. Supporters claimed he was being unfairly painted as a link instead of a person. Critics insisted links are how chains are built. Emotions ran high as Rain allegedly wrestled with whether staying silent was protecting himself or letting lies grow. Friends said the stress was visible, the weight undeniable. The family was left divided, torn between defending his name and avoiding more damage. Boosie's silence finally became the loudest sound in the room. Fans were shocked watching a man known for explosive honesty choose restraint. Some praised his discipline. Others feared it signaled legal gravity. Emotions ran high as old interviews were replayed again, this time stripped of humor and read with suspicion. Supporters reminded everyone Boosie has survived controversy before. Critics argued this felt different, heavier, federal. Yella Beezy's name remained trapped in limbo. The alleged getaway driver rumor refused to fade, evolving with every retelling. Emotions ran high as fans demanded proof, while others insisted proof comes last, not first. The family was left divided as Beezy's inner circle reportedly debated whether denial was enough or if silence was safer. Every day, without clarity, made the narrative feel more permanent. Then came the moment that shifted everything emotionally. A supposed leaked quote began circulating, claiming someone close to the situation said, "Everybody thought it was over. It wasn't. No source. No verification. Just enough to reignite fear." Emotions ran high as fans interpreted it as confirmation that the story was still unfolding behind closed doors. Reaction channels treated it like prophecy. Trust collapsed completely online. Fans accused blogs of manufacturing chaos. Blogs accused fans of denial. Emotions ran high as nobody agreed on what was responsible anymore. The algorithm rewarded outrage, not restraint. Pain became content, and content became currency. Even those who doubted the story couldn't escape it. Mo3's supporters grew louder, demanding his name stop being used as bait. Emotions ran high as they accused the culture of forgetting the human cost. Some fans stepped back, realizing they were watching real families relive trauma for entertainment. Others leaned in harder, convinced justice required attention. The family was left divided, grieving in public whether they wanted to or not. As days passed, fatigue set in. Not relief, but exhaustion. Fans were shocked how quickly chaos became routine. Emotions ran high because waiting drained everyone. No confirmations arrived. No denial stuck. The story lived in a gray space where truth and fiction fed each other endlessly. Behind the scenes, industry whispers suggested permanent changes. Collaborations quietly died. Trust-based relationships cooled. Emotions ran high as people realized reputations don't need convictions to suffer damage. Being associated with a rumor was enough. Survival instincts replaced creativity. Rain, Boosie, and Beezy now existed inside a narrative none of them controlled. Fans debated guilt and innocence like it was entertainment. Emotions ran high because the internet doesn't pause for nuance. The family was left divided across all sides, each dealing with consequences differently. As the noise slowly softened, one final realization settled in. Whether real, fake, or somewhere in between, this saga had already done what it came to do. It exposed how fast loyalty fractures, how easily stories replace facts, and how silence can be louder than any accusation. The streets didn't get closure. The fans didn't get answers. And the families didn't get peace. All that remained was a culture staring at itself, questioning how much truth really matters once a narrative takes control. And somewhere in that uncomfortable quiet, everyone watching understood one thing clearly. This story didn't end because it was resolved. It ended because the internet moved on, leaving real consequences behind for the people trapped inside it. Now pause for a second and really think about everything you just heard. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. But the biggest truth is this story is still unfinished. Was this a real federal chess move happening in silence? Or another example of the internet turning rumors into convictions? And if facts finally surface, who do you think is truly at risk when the smoke clears? This is where you come in. Drop your honest opinion in the comments and tell us which moment made you look at this situation differently. Do you believe silence is strategy, or does it point to something deeper? Are certain names being used as distractions? Or is this the calm before real consequences? If this breakdown had you locked in, smash that like button so more people see this conversation. Subscribe to the channel because stories like this don't end quietly, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when the next update drops. Share this video with someone who's been debating the saga with you, because these conversations are happening everywhere right now. The streets are watching. The internet is judging. And the truth always moves on its own timeline. Stay tapped in, stay critical, and remember, in this culture, one call, one decision, and one moment of silence can change everything.